At what age did you move to South Africa?
I moved here when I was 13. I moved here with family. I had families that left. Some family members still here, but I moved around 13, yeah.
Where in Nigeria were you coming from?
I was coming from Lekki.
Lekki.
The hometown. Yeah, Lekki. I stayed in Nigeria.
And then you packing your bags and you're moving to this foreign country. As a 13-year-old, what are you thinking?
It was my parents' decision. I mean, I didn't have much to say about it, and it was an experience for me because I had friends back home in Nigeria. I had my life settled there, and all of a sudden we move into a different environment. I don't know how it's gonna feel because it's a different country. You know, it's different from what I'm used to. So I was like excited and anxious at the same time. I didn't know what was coming my way, but I think when I got here, I handled it quite well, with like helps from like good friends and like people I connected to, and yeah, it wasn't too bad.
At 13, do you have a sense of you moving to a different country, different environment, different people, different lots of things? Or you were just like, oh, nice, let's pack our bags and let's go?
I wasn't like, yo, because I mean, it's connections made in Nigeria, it's where I was raised, and it's not something it was like, okay, cool, now, definitely, you know? It was something that it had to sink in, because I wouldn't see most of the faces I knew, and I think closer to the time I was like, okay, cool, I'm actually leaving, I'm actually getting excited, and it's a new environment, because I like change, if I can say, and I got excited just before we came, but yeah, it was an experience for me.
At what age did you become aware of an industry called fashion?
I would say it actually hit me when I came to South Africa. I mean, back in Nigeria, I was quite young, I wasn't really driven into things like that. And I got here and I saw diversity from Nigeria, and just the diversity itself attracted me. Then I started going into fashion, like, you know, checking it out. And yeah, I started picking interest, let's say in my 15, 16s, and I was like, okay, cool, people can actually express themselves through what they wear, you know, what they wear can tell who they are and stuff, and I actually just connected to it from like 16.
What are you thinking? Are you thinking, oh, this is cool, this is something that I want to get into, or you just admiring from the fringes?
Because I wasn't like driven, like as a person I'm not driven by most things, if I can say, like not easily influenced and stuff, but like I just saw, I think the fact that people could wear whatever they want, and my country, I would say it is that way, but not to an extent, you know. And the fact that you can express yourself, I think that's what attracted me, if I can say. And just like not following a certain way, just being your own person and creating your own style. Then I saw it and I was like, okay, cool, I like that, if that makes sense.
And what was your personal style at 16, and how were you expressing yourself through
I was just
fashion?
Like, fashion media was just comfortable for me too, because I mean, you look good, you feel good. I have that mentality, and I was just comfortable, and I never showed too much. I was never that flashy person. I'll be plain, but I keep it nice and like easy with it. And yeah, fashion for me was just being comfortable in yourself and wearing something that you can be comfortable with. And yeah, I'll say that. There was no like personal style of like being too flashy. I was just that comfortable style.
And at 16, did you know that I want to be part of this?
No, actually. I remember very well in high school, like I never really wanted to be a model. And both my sisters are models, so they would tell me like, yo, you should model, or like they never say something like that, you know. And there was like competitions going in high school, and I ended up like entering some of them by force. I literally had no choice, and people forced me in, and it actually went not too well. And I think the fact that I felt comfortable in my skin and things like that, actually I was like, okay, cool, let me try this, let me see, because I was that regular dark skinned boy, like that's all I was known for, that dark skinned boy, and I wasn't truly comfortable with myself. And the fact that I saw an area that they could actually appreciate my color or who I am, I found interest in it. And I think I slowly started going into fashion and just modeling like from that age. But I never saw myself before as being this full-time or even a model or even in the fashion industry at all. So yeah.
So at what age is this that you just referred to?
I would say from 16.
16.
Yeah, I would literally say from 16, 17.
Do you remember your first modeling gig, the one that you said this was modeling?
I remember very well. Because I signed to a previous agency, not the same one I'm in, and my first gig, I was terrified. It was a campaign shoot, and this was my first photo shoot. This was my first everything. I was nervous and got to camera. It was ridiculous. And I had a friend who's still a friend of mine now. From then, he actually directed me in a way. So we're on set together. He actually directed me. He said, "Okay, cool, be comfortable, this and that." And yeah, I very much remember it because I remember sacrificing certain things to do that shoot, which I might not talk about because it's gonna get me in trouble. But yeah, I remember very well that shoot.
And how were you found? Was your story as becoming a model one of those, I was just walking in the grocery stores and I got scouted, or you went to an agency or emailed somebody say, "Hey, look at my photos, here I am"? What do you think?
So, like I said, it was never an interest. Once I started doing it a bit in high school, it was like just normal competition, like runway shows and little things like that, that I thought, okay, cool, I'll do for fun. And I know my sisters were like pushing me to join an agency, and I never wanted to. And I was going through the mall with my sisters this day, and a lady came to me and she scouted like me and my sister, but we never took it serious. So I never got back to the lady. I ended up signing, but I just never went for anything. Then my sister decided to go to a bigger agency, and on the day she wanted to go sign, she told me to come with her just to support her. And I didn't actually realize she actually set a meeting for me also, and I wasn't aware of that. So when I got there and they were like, "Is this a brother that wants to join too?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, literally, "Yes." I was like, "No." And I ended up signing, took some polaroids and stuff, and it started like that. And I actually like rapidly fell in love with it, if I can say. But it was never that I actually applied and I wanted to be. It just happened, and I'm glad it happened.
When you say you fell in love with it,
yeah,
what do you mean?
Actually, I enjoy like the fashion industry, modeling, and I'm putting so much of my time into it, and I feel like I'd only do so if I enjoy it. Even though I might look the part, if I don't have a passion for it, I actually wouldn't sacrifice so much time into doing it. So the love, the drive is the main reason I'm doing it.
So at what point did you feel like, actually, yes, I am a model? Did you build the confidence enough to refer to yourself as a model?
I feel like once the confidence got to a certain level, then I considered myself a model. Because even if this was working out at the early stage, even if it was working out, I was getting some jobs, I never truly saw myself. I thought, okay, cool, it was probably going to end soon, until I got the confidence and I was comfortable and like understood that this is who I am, then I considered myself a model. So I would say I did that end of 2017. I would say my confidence rose to a certain level that I was like, okay, cool, I am comfortable under the camera. Any situation, like you can literally call me, pose, I will strike a pose if that's been, which was quite hard for me. It was quite hard. I had to build myself. I had to work on my physique, mentally I had to build myself and stuff like that. And once I got to that level, I knew I was comfortable, and I knew it was for me. Then it started working out.
You said that when you started, there was this voice that kept saying it'll probably end soon.
Yeah.
Why do you think you felt that way?
Honestly, I mentioned, I never was that outgoing person. I was never an introvert, and I never saw myself as that social person and posing and stuff like that, because I wasn't built this way. I'm grateful for anything that happened, but I looked a bit different. I had to build on myself. I used to play rugby, so I used to be much big than this, and just for me to just realize what was happening and just to adjust to it, that okay, cool, I never saw this lifestyle and it's happening. It just didn't seem real at first, and negativity was trying to come to me. It was people like saying, "Are you really a model?" Doubting, and it was just I was letting the words get to me, and I felt like at that point it was getting to me. Then I thought, okay, cool, it's probably gonna end soon. Let's have a good run with it. Until I realized my worth, if I can say, discovered myself. Then things got much better from there.
Well, if you wouldn't be doing modeling, what do you think you would be doing right now?
That's a good question. So even before modeling took place, I wanted to be a chemical engineer, and I realized that wasn't for me. You know, it was a dream from a young age, and when I was getting older, I realized, okay, cool, this wasn't a path. And if I wasn't doing modeling, but this I'm about to mention, I'm still gonna do. I do want to do a whole lot of real estate. So if it's investments, you know, and just that industry, and I believe in investments for the future. So I don't see myself as that person working a certain time to a certain time. I wanna be in an open environment, you know, where I can invest in certain places, where I can travel, where I'm not like stagnant. So I would see myself probably doing some investments, which I still will do. Real estate, I do definitely want to go into that. And yeah, probably chemical engineer. Who knows? I might have been probably in that industry now.
At what point or at what age did you look at yourself in the mirror and think, oh, I'm beautiful?
Man, it took a lot. It took a long time for me to just realize it, bro. Because I mean, people can tell you are, and if you truly don't accept it, it's like, oh, thank you, and it's not getting into you. So it took some time for me to comfortably like just believe that, okay, cool, I am beautiful, and not look at the flaws. Like, let's focus on the beauty, because that's the thing with our mind. Whatever we focus for, whatever we're looking for, we're gonna get it. You know, once you look in the mirror and you looking for the flaws immediately, it's gonna show you the flaws. You know, and I had to change the mindset. I had to believe in myself. I had to be comfortable with myself. And I would say the age that happened was, even after I became a model, it was still hard for me. I would say beginning of 2018, I had the confidence to say, I am meant, like, God made, beautiful the way I am. And I would say, yeah, 2018, I started having that mindset, like beginning of it.
Did it come from reaffirmation from people in the industry always telling you that you have something, either your agent, your booker, or the photographer, or whoever you're working with on set, or it came from you looking at your images to say, oh, okay, there's actually something here that I see what the buzz is all about?
I would say, you know, like, even when people were still telling me you're good looking, you know, you got like a nice skin color, I never accepted it. So it got to a point that I actually looked at myself and I'm like, okay, cool, I see a little bit of that, did that. And I started like, okay, cool, you know, I'm good looking. And I started getting that. And I would say after looking at myself, it wasn't based on what people told me, because I didn't fully accept it then. And yeah, after I started looking at myself, I'm like, okay, cool.
Then was it easy for you in the beginning to be paid for the way you look? Meanwhile, you don't feel like you are that good looking. Was it easier or to get the money for something that you didn't believe in?
Bro, like at that point, it was money. And I was like, okay, I'm getting money for this. And I ain't gonna complain, you know, even though I don't feel I'm good, like, I ain't gonna complain. And it was that case, you know, I was getting good money from it. And like, even after the passion came in, like, I wasn't even fully on the money. Obviously, this is what I'm doing at this moment, like full time. So the money does have to feed me, but the passion is there, like, just away from the money, I would say. But yeah, like, the fact that I was getting money, even though I didn't look good, I didn't feel good. That was a good thing. Like, I was just getting money for, you know, like, people found something in me that I didn't see at that point, and I was finally getting paid for it, you know. And yeah.
And how does it feel now, like, having aligned? You feel good, you look good, you're getting paid for looking good.
Yeah. Man, it's balanced. It feels good. I can say, at this point, I protect my energy, if I can say. I protect my surrounding, because things can get to you, can affect you, you know, influences and stuff. So the fact that I feel good, it's a matter of me cutting certain things out, negative things that might make me, okay, cool, doubt certain things. So now that I'm in I can say a balanced state, it feels really good. I encourage so many people to get to that stage where you're comfortable with yourself at all times, you know, and you don't depend on any other person's word to know who you are, like, know your worth, if I can say. And it feels really good, bro. I'm at that state that I am so comfortable, and I don't want to change that. Yeah, it feels good. That's all I can say.
What would you say is the biggest incentive for you, or the drive for you to be doing modeling work now?
The biggest drive, man, I don't want to be broke, bro. I don't want to be broke. I would say that's one of my drive. A lot of the things I do for my family members. Family is a big part of me. They literally drove me into doing this. Like my sisters, they gave me such a drive and they pushed me, and I literally wasn't even listening, and they literally did that. My mother also, I would say, I know this is cliche, people say it, but like this lady did so much, and I'm trying to reach this person, because I would say me telling my parents about this, it wasn't something that was, easily accepted. I wouldn't say based on where I'm coming from, but like it wasn't easily accepted. And for them to know that it's a good choice, I have to, show them, okay, cool, this is actually working for me. And that's also a drive, just to show them, okay, cool, they allowed me to do this, and I'm not gonna let them down. And that's also a drive, just to keep on doing great, to make the fam proud, and just not to be broke. That's one big one also, I would say.
What do your parents think that you do?
Okay, at this point they know very well our motto, and I remember very well, like, starting off even with my dad wasn't in South Africa at that point, but like, to him, he thought modeling was doing the most drugs and being in the nudist of shoots. I don't know why he thought so. And that was what he saw, and I don't blame him. I don't know if it was the mindset or the time it was brought up in. Probably that's how he saw it, but he just thought I was just gonna go that way and just pop all the pills or something like that. And he didn't like fully accept it, but I mean, he understood that, I got a bit of brains with it, and I can make smart decisions, if I can say. So he allowed it, and I think now he knows that, okay, cool, it's working for me. I mean, he posts my pictures itself, and he knows I ain't popping pills and stuff like that, and yeah, he is accepting it, and they fine with it.
But where do you think that the acceptance came from? Like, have you asked him, like, what do you think that I do as a model? Like, does he have an understanding of what it involves?
I honestly don't think he fully knows what happens. I mean, he sees pictures and that's it. Like, he sees the end results of it. And from what he sees, I would say that's how he puts his mind on it. So he sees my picture of me doing a campaign, and okay, cool, my son is posting for a fashion brand, and that's it, He's not going too deep on it, I would say. And yeah, what he sees is how he interprets it.
And your mom, did she get it like off the bat?
She did. She was more open and like, okay, cool, you're a model, yeah, this and that. Because my mom is beautiful, and she also had that path, like growing up, but she never took it fully. So she was kind of aware of it, and she was like, okay, cool. And it was for both of my sisters also were doing it, so she was more accepting to it, and it went well.
So David, at what age did you start modeling?
I fully started modeling, I would say, when I was 17.
Yeah,
let's say 17 I started modeling. When I say I dedicated my time into modeling, 17.
Yeah. The 17 years old to you.
Yeah.
Modeling, it's an industry where it's based on look, and it's based on, external beauty. Yeah. It's based on youth. Now it's changing. Yeah. Ageism is a thing of the past, but it's really based on youth and external beauty, and there's always commentary on how you look. How did the 17 years old you was able to rationalize all of this thing to say, this is actually, they're not attacking me personally, it's not about this, it's just about the output of the work?
Okay, if I'm to get it straight, you mean in terms of just like understanding that they actually want you for your look? Is that?
No, just how did you understand that the things that were said, maybe on set, like you said earlier, like you came from a rugby, you're a sportsman, so you're bulky. You go to it and you say like, this is not going to work. You need to trim down. You need to be able to fit the clothes or to fit the samples. And you're only 17. Did you understand it back then that it's not an attack on you? And also there's also like, the client is not looking for this look, they're looking for that kind of look. I think that really, it can do some bit of number to your confidence and your being.
It very much did, very much, if I can say, at the beginning, in terms of even me being a rugby player. So I was still quite big. I think I was a size 34, 35, and I had to tone down so much. And before I did, I was in that process that even though I was a bit good looking, you know, I was still a big guy, and I would go into shows, I couldn't fit outfits. It was not the best feeling to be can suit because of, in terms of like not fitting a certain, but that motivated me, if I can say, you know, I never took it in a like a negative way of saying they don't want me. It hit me hard, I won't lie, in terms of even going to castings. I would go to a whole lot of castings, I wouldn't get a job, and I'm like, yo, am I good enough? What's happening? Because I thought I was meant for this, you know. And it just like, it took me time to realize that it's a matter of self-worth, you know, that even if they don't like you, that don't mean, not even like you, even if you don't fit what they're looking for, that don't mean there's anything wrong with you, you know. People might be looking for something different, you know, everyone's different, you know. That don't mean that they don't appreciate you. They might appreciate me, but just not need me for this set, if that makes sense. It took a while for me to get that mentality, you know. It hit me hard thinking, okay, cool, am I wasting my time? Am I just going for castings? Like, what's happening? And yeah, over time I just realized that, cool, you know, they're gonna judge. Obviously, it's the industry, they want a certain qualification, and especially with the size, I had to work myself. I could have either taken it a bad way and say, okay, cool, I'm done with this. This is bad. Like, I'm done with this, and I'm gonna live my life. Or I could have just like, okay, cool, let's motivate each other like this. Let's work on ourselves. Let's build our physiques, which I did, and I got to a certain size that I was comfortable with, and I just stayed that way.
And what is your end goal for this career?
Man, like everyone, this next few years, I really want to travel a lot. I do want to go to places. I want to explore. I want to do so. I'm in the process of it. Everything is going steadily, if I can say. But I do want to travel places. I want to do certain things, you know. This is a career that might not be for the longest of time, but I want to make the most of it, you know. In anything it brings, you know, that aligns with my personality, with who I am, in terms of there's certain things I obviously won't do, but anything I'm comfortable with, I want to do, you know. Any like opportunity it brings for me, I will take it, in terms of me being okay with it.
What are your limits? What won't you do?
I wouldn't tamper with my dignity, if that makes sense. You know, I'm a very humble person, I can say, and there's certain things that I wouldn't do in terms of tampering my dignity. Anything that I feel like, you know, I'm not comfortable with, I honestly wouldn't do. It might, like, it's not like full on, like, there's certain things I'm not okay with. It's just certain things that tampers my dignity. I wouldn't know till I'm kept in that position, you know. Okay. Then I'm like, okay, cool, I'm not sure if this is for me, you know. And yeah, those things I might think twice and like, yo, isn't there a way we can go around? And yeah, I wouldn't know until I'm in that position, then I can see if it feels right, if that makes sense. Yeah.
What are some of the 5 boxes that you would like to take in your modeling career? Accomplishments that you say, if I leave that, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm good, I'm glad I did those.
I would say at least like 2 international fashion shows. That's one of the things I want to do.
Which cities?
Milan is firstly one of it, and like London. Okay, good one. I wanna shoot for a major campaign, you know, and international also, I would say.
What does that mean?
Like any campaign, it'd be anything that's major, you know. Like I'm not a picky person. I'm not gonna mention the best of brands. I know that people work their way to get to where they are. So I wouldn't expect me coming up from, you know, just humble life and just trying to get to the top. It's ways. So any big campaign, it will literally work. I wanna feature in a TVC that I actually have a very long role of talking. I'm talking about I'm in few TVCs now, but I wanna communicate. I wanna act better, you know. I wanna go into a bit of acting, you know, and I know with modeling it's a possibility it can go that way. I want to do that. 5th one. That's a tough question. I wanna, oh yeah, there's something actually. I wanna be on some, I don't know if it's a billboard or anything. Like, I just wanna, like, before this year ends, I would say that's one of the goals. And I set goals, even I try and make them realistic, and goals are good in terms of like motivating me and like looking up to something. You know, I am all times with all the goals I mentioned. It's gonna take some time. I definitely know that. I'm not in any rush. I am definitely blessed and comfortable with what I have. You know, I'm not trying to go for the best. And if these goals do come, I will be grateful. But like, it's not something I'm just rushing to be one of the tops or do this and that. I'm comfortable with where I am right now, and obviously it's gonna get better. And yeah, those are the 5 goals I can say.
Who taught you how the money thing works in the modeling
You mean
industry?
How to handle the money?
How to handle the money, the commission, your agent cards, how does it work?
I mean, with the agencies, they obviously explain that to you, and they explained it. I mean, yeah, they explained everything to me. It kind of made sense, you know. And in terms of spending the money, I had to, I spent recklessly at first, and through experience, you know, and I had to, you know, just maintain myself and like nicely spend, if I say. But yeah, with the finance and everything, it was explained by the agency. We had meetings to talk about that, and yeah, I just knew about it from there.
Do you make enough to live?
Definitely, considering the fact that it's like full time. At this, like 2018, I would say, or 2019 rather, I kind of went full time into it. So I do make enough to sustain myself. Obviously, I'm not comfortable where I am. I want to get better. But even with this, I do certain things on the side, you know, just to make it a bit. If there's any chance I can do something, you know, even though it takes like a bit more of time, I would do it to better myself. But yeah, I would say I am comfortable with it.
David, what do you know now that you didn't know then that you wish somebody told you?
So I would say is being yourself is one of the best way to go through things, you know. And especially in this industry, you have certain role models when you start modeling. Like for myself, I had people that, okay, cool, I want to be like this individual and all. And we tend to like just imitate them and try and be them, you know. And which isn't, I mean, it's a good thing to have role model, definitely, but to try act like them, to try be them, I wouldn't advise that. And people tend to do it not knowing that being themselves is actually one of the greatest things they can do, you know, because then it's raw, it's unique, you know. It's not like you're trying to imitate someone, you know. And I would say just being yourself and being comfortable with it. And that's something I never knew in the past. Like, I also wanted to be like certain models. I wanted to cover my flaws with other people's strengths, if that makes sense, you know. I was like, okay, cool, if I act this way, if I dress this way, they will notice certain things, you know. And it was something I was gonna go into, but luckily I came out of it. And yeah, just being yourself is one of the greatest strengths you can have, even if I can say that.
Through this digital media that we live in, how have you maintained to be yourself through Instagram, provided there's some things that work on Instagram that you have to do for it to work for you, type of thing?
That's one of the toughest part, bro. Because I mean, we're in an age now that's easily influenced by social media and stuff, and it's literally, I mean, my little sister's dancing to some of the stuff that people do. It's like you get influenced easily from it. And if you see a certain system, and I believe this is a mindset thing, you know. For me, if I go on social media and I see, okay, people are doing this and this is what is norm, and it might not be the case, it might not be the good thing, but if I have a mindset saying, okay, cool, I don't have to do this thing to fit in, I can escape it, if I can say. So digital media does make a big impact. It does, and it's a matter of just like, don't just. One more thing I would say is, these things are played. You know, social media, I can let you see what I want you to see, and that's one mindset you have to know, that people are showing you what they want you to see. And now we can get affected saying that, okay, cool, I'm not living my best life because this individual posts fresh coffee every morning and things like that, while they might be going through the most and just posting what they want you to see. So it's a matter of mindset, just to know that, okay, cool, it's not always as green as it looks there, you know. People are editing it. You can edit it, basically. And yeah, I'd say that, yeah.
How do you define success for yourself?
Success for myself is reaching a comfortable goal, if I can say, to the fact that I look back and I say, I did this for myself. I did this, I wouldn't say on my own, but I motivated myself to reach a goal that I'm proud of. Success isn't about the amount of money I have. I wouldn't say I'm successful when I'm a millionaire. I might be successful with 100K in my account, you know. But it's a matter of me just feeling like I achieved what I wanted to, you know. I did my capacity, like full out to my capacity. I drove, I did it. Yeah, it's that comfortable feeling you have knowing that you did it. You know, it might not be like you know the names of it, but you just look back and know that, okay, cool, I did it. So success to myself is just being comfortable in the stage. That for me is being successful. The fact that I've reached this level, worked through all these difficulties, and I'm still comfortable. Yeah.
Cultural reader, what do you think is moving the needle right now and hitting the cultural nerve?
Diversity in culture attracts people. Diversity attracts humans than what we think. So me seeing a different culture, even like a different country, and such uniqueness in the styling. For me, South Africa has like amazing styling and all, like Africa in general, if I can say. And in terms of the culture, I would say in dressing and the formality, how they present themselves, in the way they can be themselves in the uniqueness of ways. Like that's people are moving into it. I can say people are. I look at these designers and they're not trying to copy the normal people. They are going out of the norm. They are doing something crazy that people never thought of. And I feel like that's where the culture is moving into, you know, just being different and bringing something to the party that no one has seen. You know, we're not trying to look like this person. We're not trying to have this basic outfit, if I can say. And just being different, I would say that's one of the cultural radar. That's just like people are just moving to, if that makes sense.